Hey guys, Stephen Fillers here, back in the garage. Today we're looking at WESTIN's front and rear HDX bumpers, as well as their off-road waterproof winches. So first of all, let's talk about the front bumper. So the front bumper itself is made of a 7-gauge steel, very heavy duty, but it's also got a one-piece welded design, which is going to give us that sturdiness that we want out of a bumper first of all, but also gives us a very chiseled, aggressive look, which looks really good on these late model F-150s, as you can tell. Now from a practical standpoint, you have these laser cutouts. Now the laser cutouts are going to be along the top, along this bevel here, but also along the front. Now on the top and on the bevel, you have some additional airflow getting to your engine. So it has that practical benefit, but it also gives you access to your winch if you have one. Now in this bumper, we actually mount the winch directly to the interior, and we'll get to that at the end of the video. But first of all, this is going to give us access to our winch, so we can plug our winch remote in and access and control our winch, but also to our spool lever, so we can disengage or engage our spool to have a free spool. You have access to all that from the front, but the cutouts also give your engine, but also your winch, some additional airflow, improving the performance and longevity of those devices. Now, so how are you going to winch when you need to winch? So as you can see here, the fairlead is covered up by a plate, and that plate is for us that live like in the state of Virginia, for instance, and you have to have a front license plate. You can actually mount your license plate to this plate, and when you need to go winching, you can actually just lift this right up, and there's your fairlead right there. The fairlead holes are pre-drilled, so all you have to do is really mount your fairlead to the bumper. Super simple to do. And when you are back on the road, flip it back down. It's really that simple. Now on the left and right hand sides, you'll again see these cutouts. In these cutouts though, this is made for double row 10-inch light bars. In our case, these WESTIN light bars fit and function perfectly in those spaces. And then you also have your heavy duty shackle mounts as well. Those are 1 inch thick. Now moving on to the rear bumper. The rear bumper shares a lot of the same features. It's a 7-gauge steel, chiseled design, really looks great, comes in that texture black finish, also available in raw if you want to paint to match, that is an option. But they also have cutouts for the HDX logo, so you have something to brag about there, that HDX from WESTIN. Again, these are heavy duty and very quality bumpers that you're going to be proud of. They have provisions from everything from the factory as well, such as your toe plug, your spare tire lock, as well as your receiver hitch. So this all work together. And they even have the provisions for the lights that light up your rear license plate. So they've thought of everything, and they've even gone on to throw in 2 LED light bars. Those are flush mount, so they look and function great. All right, so last but certainly not least is their winch. Now the winch itself, you can't see it for the bumper, but it's rated for 12,500 pounds. They also make another option available in 9,500 pounds if you need to make a jump down for any reason, but it really does fit and perform great inside of this bumper. I mean, the installation together was super easy. They're made for each other, but these provisions here for airflow and access points are perfectly designed for this winch as well. So that winch is going to be able to breathe better, but also you can access the remote plug-in for your remote here, but also to your spool lever as well, extremely easily. So it's really evident that they're designed that way, so it's really easy to work with. Now back to the winch itself, it's actually in a black finish. I know you can't see it, but it's also IP67 waterproof, so it's going to perform great on the trail and off the trail, and also when you get the truck home to wash it off. Now at the end of the day, you have 2 options of rope. You either have steel or synthetic, depending on your tastes and your needs. Alrighty, so let's talk about the installation for just a minute. As far as the installation difficulty goes, I'm going to give this a 7 of 10. Not really just for the difficulty, but because of how heavy this system is. The front and rear bumpers are both very heavy, very unwieldy. It's really going to be incredibly difficult to do alone. So you might want to have yourself and a few buddies over to make this happen. But really, the unwieldiness of it as you're going to put it on the truck is why I gave it a 7 of 10. Overall, it's a fairly easy bolt-on install, really not that difficult. If you have any reservations about doing this yourself or have any concerns, check out our description below. We'll have a dealer locator there, so you can find a professional installer that would be happy to do this job for you. Now in our case, it took us about a day to do, so about 8 hours. And the reason we took about 8 hours is because we went ahead and installed the winch, but also the light bars as well, which required some wiring. But overall, again, the installation, pretty straightforward. It just takes some time and some manpower. All right, so that's it. If you want any more details about the HDX front bumpers or the winch, check the description below. Everything will be listed for you there. Part numbers and even a dealer locator, so you can find that dealer near you to help make this purchase or install happen. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been Total Truck Centers in the Garage.